Drives, 5 touchdowns, all less than 5 plays. What kind of went into those drives, especially those explosive plays that created the touchdowns?
Yeah, first things I just want to give JMU their kudos. It's a talented team. They have a great coaching staff, great players. They fought their tails off. They deserve to be one of the 12 teams in there. But yeah, when it comes to just our offense this game, the first couple of drives were great. We executed. We know a lot of their defensive scheme coming into this game. Coach Stein and the offensive crew did a great job dissecting their defense. But overall, it was a great game. Offense did a great job. Defense did a great job. Special teams did a great job. So I'm glad to get the win.
All right, Zach.
As one of the leaders of this team, what's your message to the locker room after the game? Because Dan, was open about being frustrated that this was not up to your standard. What do you say to your teammates?
Yeah, overall, it's just we won the game. We're advancing. Of course, the standard has to stay the standard through all the 4 quarters. But overall, that's what film is there for. Film is there to make sure we get better with these upcoming days before the next game. But yeah, the whole team understands that this wasn't our best game. But at the end of the day, we won the football game. And then in playoffs, if you lose, you go home. So we're glad we won.
All right, here, back, Brenna.
Dante, just how would you describe the emotion that you're feeling towards this game right now?
Yeah, my emotions is very high. Overall, it's just great that we had a great game. Offense did a great job. The whole, Oregon team, we did a great job. It's just overall just what we did Monday through Friday to make sure we put on this type of performance today. We put up 51 points. That's a lot of points in the college football playoffs. But overall, you got a lot of work to work on with these upcoming days. But we're going to celebrate this win tonight. And go from there.
Back middle with the hat.
Dante, you guys had a lot of success passing deep down the field today. What went into that preparation-wise throughout the week? What were you seeing tonight? And now heading into the Texas Tech week, how do you want to build upon the successes that you had attacking in those deeper levels of the field?
Yeah, we have a great front five O-line. They do a great job blocking for me to have time to throw the ball downfield. But yeah, the receivers here and tight ends are special. They make great plays when the ball's in the air. I'm gonna give them a chance. But overall, we've been doing that all year. And when the big moments are needed for this team, all the players step up.
Second row, Eric.
Hit in the league for a couple of long ones. I'm curious, just what's that snap reaction when you see him break open and you just have to lay it out there for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the bad one first. The one I underthrew him. He's really fast. He told me on the sideline, he's like, "You didn't have the arm to get it out there?" I said, "No." But overall, the next time I told him I'm gonna get him next time. Finally threw him in stride. I haven't thrown him in stride since probably Oklahoma State game. But overall, to him with his speed, he does a great job. Getting open. But yeah, overall, we're always watching film on the sideline, seeing leverage to attack the DBs, and overall, not even just him. J Mac, Jamari Johnson, everybody doing a great job to get open, and they're doing what they got to do.
Back left, Matt.
This year, last year, every year, really under Dan Lanning, when the team doesn't play maybe to the standard, that next week, the next couple of weeks, you see the team locked in, focused, and play better. Where does that confidence come from, where every guy up here saying, we know we didn't play well, we know we'll fix it?
Yeah, Coach Lanning's our leader. We go as he goes. He's going to make sure that he's going to push us very hard next week. We're going to watch film. Of course, he's proud of us for us making it this far. Winning this game tonight, in Alton for the fans, the community. But overall, like you said, everybody knows how Coach Lanning is. He's psycho. He's going to make sure he's going to push us at practice. He's going to, put that fire under us, and it's needed. We don't want everyone to get satisfied, and we never have been all year. We've been a lot of times the underdogs in situations, but overall, we're just ready to, keep competing and keep getting better as a team.
Back right.
Dante, it's a long season and it's not over yet, but now that you're into these playoff elimination games, looking back from the start of the season to now, where do you feel like you've grown the most?
Yeah, I say I think I've grown the most is, as a person when it comes to just my vocalism to the team, the way I communicate, the way I just say, things, off the field if we're on the video games. If we're here in the film room, when we're on the field, I feel like, I've grown the most of understanding how to adapt to every teammate on my team. You know, everybody's not the same. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. We all can relate in some type of way. But, you know, I'll say example, E-Man. E-Man, when he first came in, we hardly talked to each other. But now it's like when we see each other in the training room together, we're in the huddle. Every time we see him smile, we're dancing with him. Like, it's just this team has grown so much, and it just comes from the way we're just so connected.
James, front left.
It's been nearly 2 months since you had a fully stocked receiving core. What was it like to have Dak and Gary back out there, even if it wasn't exactly at 100%, but more than it's been in a while?
Yeah, I just love how the fans were cheering on Evan when he caught his first, warm-up pass in a long time. I was just glad to see him back as well. But yeah, DeCorian, Gary, everybody getting back, it is great to have all your weapons. But I think the best thing with them, and I always give them the credit, is when they're not on the field playing or these past couple weeks haven't been participating as much. I think they've grown so much better as being, vocal in the film room and like in the weight room. Of course, DeCorian's young, but he's had a lot of experience this year. He's making sure he's pushing Cooper. He's making sure he's talking to J-Mac. Gary, of course, is the old head in the room, so he just, talks and just keeps, preaching game to the receivers. So I feel like with them two, not being able to play these past couple weeks, they've for sure grown being more vocal to the guys.
Stand right here.
Next up is Texas Tech. They got Jacob Rodriguez at linebacker, 5th in the Heisman. David Bailey, a lot of nice players on defense. What kind of challenge will they present to you guys?
Yeah, we're going to celebrate this win tonight. Watch film on them. Texas Tech is a great team. They have great ball players over there. But overall, we're going to celebrate this win and not look too forward.
Back left, Matt.
Lanning often talks about you, the players, have the opinion that matters. And one of the first things you said today was JMU deserved to be in this. I'm curious why. What did you see that? Because outside, a lot of people were curious about why they should be here.
I mean, look at the stats. I mean, they put up numbers. Look at their previous games. If you think about it, if you look at Indiana's football team, they all came from JMU. They came, with a great coaching staff. At JMU is always developing great players. The quarterback, he can play anywhere in the country, to be honest. He has an arm. He's very, a great leader out there. The running back's really good. They put up the numbers, and the numbers are going to speak, But overall, they're one of 12 teams. There's 100 and whatever the amount of teams in the college football. But it's them being there, them being able to come here and play in Alton. It was great to play against them. Very competitive team.
Last question, Max.
Dante, you guys have now played 13 games, really long season. Just wanted to kind of ask you, what's your experience been like just enduring the grind of a season and getting all the way to this point?
Yeah, this is the longest season I ever played in my life. I never played as much football before, and it's a blessing. Just being here with the guys, just being able to push ourselves every day. From the start of us playing Montana State to us playing, JMU, it's been a long journey. And, I feel like with this team, we were very young at the beginning of the year, but we've had a lot of experience. We've been pushing each other every day. We've been growing so much closer as a team, and we just love the game of football. And Coach Landon is going to do a great job to keep pushing us and make sure we keep attacking forward.
Bonus question, James.
Bonus.
Part of leadership, and you've projected a lot and talked about joy and happiness. You've said it a lot of times already tonight. Great job. And having that kind of voice, there's something to be said for that.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it also can be accountability. That doesn't always look pretty. Will you take a different posture in the locker room, in the meeting rooms over the next 24, 48 hours based on how you feel? Maybe if you're not even projecting it here now, will that look different in a room that there's no music blaring and guys are talking about feeling like they lost tonight?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. I'll be myself through the wins and the losses. Of course, you always want to learn from certain moments, but I'm trying to tell you, as our team, as our offense, if we're not smiling through the bad, we're never going to exceed to be, what we can be. I know a lot of people say it's not a lot of great film tonight, but at the end of the day, we got to win. And I know myself is if I'm, not being myself, the team's going to look at me and, hold me accountable. So I think through every moment from us being in the film room, we're always going to have a smile on our face. We're just blessed to be here, blessed to be in, Eugene, Oregon, playing the game we love.